Greetings and salutations, this is Felicat and welcome to the test Hypothesis Rising. This is the second iteration of the series that I started last time. Yeah, I've been really lax with video uploads lately. It's my issues that I have with my legs have been bothering me really bad lately when I go to sleep in my bed. And then when I don't sleep on my bed, I don't sleep very well. So I've been having really low energy lately, and my pain tolerance has been really low too. But I wanted to go ahead and get this done and get it out there, and the third one will be coming soon after this. So let's get into it. It should be interesting. Before experiencing the test Hypothesis Rising, you play this. Yep, sure have. No problem. I've done it. You will stand to gain a lot more from this experience if you've played the test first, and this examination will also make a bit more sense as it carries from where the last examination left off. Okay, cool. Already have, thank you. That's awesome. Yep, no, I got you. No, I've already played it. I've already played the test. Wonderful news, we can continue. I got my water here. Stay hydrated. Hello and welcome to my office. It's truly a pleasure to see you here today. I like their rendition of fate. Please excuse the mess. I haven't had a chance to clean up yet. Now, I don't want to take up too much of your time with blibber blabber and nonsensical speak, so I'll just get straight to the point. Sometimes we have to ask ourselves life's tough questions. There's one question in particular I'd like for you to ask yourself. Are you happy? And when I say happy, I don't mean content. Being content is great, but it's not the same as being happy. I want to help you. I want to inspire you to be the best that you can be. I want to inspire you to be the happiest version of yourself. I want to see you grow inside and out. Now, how do we accomplish this, you might be asking? Good question. Allow me to explain. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you're going to answer them with 100% entire honesty. And when I say 100% entire honesty, I mean 100% entire honesty. Think about it. You do want to be happy, don't you? You wouldn't want to do something so bold as to tempt fate by lying, would you? I would never dare. Just remember, if you lie, the only person you're lying to is yourself. The only person who will suffer from this is you. And believe me, you will suffer. Not to mention the fact that whether you tell the truth or not, I'll know. This is true. Fate knows everything. But that's another story. Let's be moving on, shall we? We've wasted enough time explaining what we're going to be doing. Just remember, we all want to be good people. We all want to give the answers that we feel lend the most desirable human traits within ourselves. But sometimes good people do bad things, and sometimes we don't always have desirable traits as humans. I cannot express enough just how important it is to be truly honest while you're answering these questions, no matter how uncomfortable the truth may make you. Now, it's time to get into the real meat of this experience. It's time for you to get the advice that you deserve. As you read questions and scenarios during the process, I want you to create your own circumstances and build your own bridges to arrive at the answer that best suits your own psyche. If you've ever experienced a scenario being asked of you, then simply imagine that you have and try to assume how you might feel in that situation. Just like the first one. I'd like to invite you to pour a glass of water, sit back and relax as we unfold your fate and the secret to overcoming the next hurdle in your life. We're going to start with some basic, easy questions. And here we go. If you answer these questions twice, your advice may change. If It's not just about answering these questions, it's about many different variables. I need to check the... Yep, that's what I thought. I need to lower that. I also need to lower it in my headphones. It's too loud for me. Not that I love the sound of my own voice, but I don't want to yell into the microphone either, you understand. That is rather loud. Okay. Much more atmospheric than the previous one, I appreciate that. Many different factors are at play here, including the amount of time taken to answer proposed questions. With that being said, it's far more important to actually take your time and think about an honest answer you're going to give before you give it. Whatever you do, do not rush the process. Time is your best friend here. You'll see what I mean soon enough. Fate near your office is rather messy. I'd offer you help with cleaning up, but I really can't do that. Do you feel uncomfortable right now? Physically, a little bit, yeah. Because my back is acting up a bit right now. But I'll just say yes, because I am a little uncomfortable right now. Are you nervous? Not nervous, no. Physically uncomfortable. Do you feel cold? Not now. I got my blankets, so I'm good. Do you feel sad? Not in this moment, no. Have you ever hurt someone because you were hurting even though they didn't deserve it? Let me think about that for a second. Now, I can't think of any specific circumstances where this may have happened to me in the past. Mostly because I have trouble remembering my past, often. There's a lot of trauma there that I don't like looking at or poking around with. And although I do confront it at times, I find that I'm most functional when I don't mess with it. But I have a feeling that there were times with my parents or other family members where this did happen. And I'm not proud of it, but I'm fairly certain that it did happen at least once in my life. I'm going to say yes to that. Okay, apparently the dog is done barking now. I realized he was picked up there. I apologize if you heard him. He's loud for no reason often, so... Oh, maybe he's not done. Do you crave acceptance by others? You know, I used to. When I was in my teen years especially, it was really, really important that people would like me or want to be friends with me. I think that I probably felt like if people didn't like me, then I wasn't a good person, or maybe I wasn't worth being friends with, or just wasn't worthy in general. You know, I had really low self-esteem during that time. And it still isn't great, but I've come a long way since then. Nowadays, I couldn't care less if someone doesn't like me. I know that I rub a lot of people the wrong way. It's not something that I do intentionally. It's a personality clash that I haven't figured out yet. I'm always trying to be polite and nice to other people. I talked about this in the previous video. I try to be positive energy to people whenever I can, as much as I can. I don't know why this doesn't come across well to some people. I'm not very extroverted. I'm not going to walk up to you and start talking to you out of the blue. I've never done that in my life. It's not me. So, I don't know. Maybe that's why people don't really talk to me as much. But no. No, I really don't care about you anymore, to be perfectly honest. Have you ever lost a love? Yes. Yes, I have. Almost exactly 3 years ago now, my mom passed away. And that's the big one. That's not counting all of the wonderful cats that I've had in my life. That's not counting my beloved dogs that I lost before moving back in here. They were precious to me too. They were also loved ones. And I'll say what I always say when I talk to people about this. It doesn't hurt any less. The pain doesn't really fade or go away. It just gets easier to work around it. Eventually, and it might take years, it might take decades even, eventually, it'll hurt less. But it'll never be gone. Not completely. So if you have lost someone, and you're seeing this right now, and you're thinking that your life is like living hell, it is. It really is. But I promise you that if you just hang in there, if you just give yourself the space and the time that you need to have to deal with your feelings and to find a new way to be, it does get better. It's not going to be easy, but it does get better. And obviously, if you're having serious depression, and even if you're not, losing a loved one is a big deal. A very, very big deal. So if you're having trouble coping with that, please call someone for help. There are countless people, professionally and just personally in your own life, who would be thrilled to hear from you and to understand what you're going through and help you get through it. Loss is deeply personal, and grief is deeply personal. Everyone grieves in their own way. And there is no wrong way to grieve a loved one. I'm just going to say that right now. There's no wrong way to grieve someone that you love. However you have to be to manage that pain, however long it takes you to get back to okay, is fine. That is your journey, no one else's. Don't feel guilty about it. I'm starting to tear up right now, but don't feel guilty about it. Don't regret the time. It's very important that you find your way back to yourself in your own time and in your own space and in your own way. No one can tell you how to grieve. No one can tell you how not to grieve. That's all yours to decide. I could go on and on about this, but for the sake of time, I'm going to move on now. Yes, I have lost a loved one. My mother and several beloved pets previous to that, and since then too. And the loss doesn't get easier, like I said, but time will help it to be easier to handle. It's kind of a hard thing to explain, but if you've lost someone, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, then please remember that. The loss will not get easier, but it will get easier to handle it. You'll learn how to cope. Do you know what heartbreak feels like? Oh my god, yes. I have talked about this actually in the previous game as well. My fiance decided to end our relationship over, for as far as I was concerned, some bullshit. I'm not going to go too much into detail here, but basically what happened was his family decided that I wasn't worthy for whatever reason. You know this whole tale. Sorry to call him out like this, but mama's boy wouldn't stand up for the woman he was supposed to be marrying, and, you know, I made some kind of social faux pas or something like that with his mom that she didn't like. And the next thing I know, we're going from spending Valentine's Day together to spending no time together. It was really hard on me. I will honestly say, and please don't mistake this as me not loving or caring about my mom or any of my pets that I've lost over the years, because of course I do, and I did, and I still do, and I always will. But honestly, this breakup that I went through hit me harder than any other loss I've ever experienced. And I think I understand why that is. Because when you lose someone to death, when they cross over, when they leave this world, they're gone. There's no more. You're not going to see them again, you're not going to hear them again, and that's a very distinct and unique kind of pain. But for me personally, this was harder because I knew he was still out there. He was still living a life that did not include me, and he was living it with a person who was, sorry, but I have to say it, absolutely atrocious, who was manipulative, who was lying and cheating, and again, not details, not specific details, but lied about some really important stuff that was a betrayal to everyone involved. I can only say that I hope that everyone involved in the situation has since learned from everything that happened. I did. I hope they did too. That's all I'm going to say about it. Unless it probes with more questions later, but yeah, I have had heartbreak, and it's almost worse than having someone you love die. They're not the same kind of pain, but it feels worse in the moment when someone is like, we're done, it's over. And they go on, and they live a life while you're stuck in your own hell, not being able to move forward. And yeah, a lot of that's on me. But anyway, too much time taken. Do you believe in demons? Actually, yes, I do. Not that I've ever had a personal encounter with any, thank the Lord, and knock on some damn wood that I never do. But I've seen and heard some stuff that is very disturbing. Very frightening. And, yeah. Let's see if I got a cross right here somewhere. Do you believe in curses? This is a little bit... This one is actually interesting. I don't know that I actually believe in curses per se, but I do very much believe that energy, for better or for worse, affects everything. So do I believe in curses as in somebody uses a voodoo doll and puts a curse on you? Not really. But do I believe in curses in the sense that something terrible happened in a place and that resulting energy is still there and causes harm to people who subsequently are in that space? Yes, I believe in that. But I think the kind of curses that we're talking about here are like the voodoo kind of curses. But there is some evidence to suggest that magic like that does work too. Not a lot of evidence, mind you, and I think a lot of it's just a bunch of hooey, but the idea of curses, yes, I believe that the idea of curses is possible. I believe that places can have the right kind of energy to be cursed in their own sense. Would you consider yourself to be spiritual? Yes, I do, actually. I don't mean that I spend a lot of time praying. I don't go to church or anything like that. I'm spiritual in oddly more practical ways. Like, I'll be sitting around eating a meal, and I'll be like, you know, I'm really thankful to whatever animal it was that contributed to this meal. Whether I'm eating eggs, you know, from chickens, or if I'm having a really good burger, or, you know, something like that. And I'll think about the fact that I'm grateful to the people who did the work to make that food happen, you know. I find myself being grateful for the process of bringing the meal to my plate, every step along the way. I'm spiritual like that. Sometimes I will speak to past loved ones, like my mom and my dear pets, and sometimes I will pray or meditate on a higher power. Like recently with all the stuff that's been happening in Ukraine, I have been feeling very deeply upset by all of that, because it's so easy for me to see what's happening to those people and imagine it being here, being in my backyard, being my family. And I've been doing a lot of not exactly prayer, but also prayer. Just thinking about those people and trying to send them love and comfort, energy, spiritually, psychically, whatever you want to call it. But yes, I would say that I'm a spiritual person. Are you afraid of dying alone? Well, kind of. Not so much as in because, I'm afraid to die. As much as if I did die alone, I'll probably be surrounded by pets of some description, cats, dogs, both, whatever. And I don't want anything bad to happen to them because I passed and no one knew, you know? Not for my own sake, so much as for the sake of whoever might be with me or around me when that, or, whatever animals might be in my care at that time. That's why I'm afraid of dying alone, not for myself. Because really, we all do die alone. Even though my mom was here with us, and I believe that she passed right on the living room couch in there before the EMTs even arrived. It was that fast. She wasn't present in that moment. She didn't know that we were there with her. She wasn't aware. And when Shino, my cat, he passed away not too long ago. Again, when I went to say my goodbyes to him, he wasn't present. He wasn't there. He didn't respond to me at all. And he always responded to me. My touch, my voice, even just hearing me walk in the room. So I really believe that even when we're surrounded by people that love us, I think we still die alone. But yes, for the sake of others, not myself. If there was undeniable proof that a ghost was haunting you, would you continue to live in your home? Well, yeah. Since I'm pretty sure that happened to me before anyway. I mean, I talked about this before, again, when I lived with my sister. The light switch flipping incident. It didn't bother me overly much. I thought it was kind of amusing, honestly. I've had experiences here in my parents' house. Back when I was quite a bit younger. Not long after we moved in. I used to hear footsteps above me in the ceiling. Which is odd because there has, in this current iteration of this home, there has never been a second story. It's always been a ranch style home. There's only one story. And it used to scare me at first, but then I was like, well, you know what? That doesn't sound threatening. And it will only happen in the very early hours of the morning. What it sounded like to me as I thought about it was, you had a man and his family living here, and the sounds that I think I was hearing were an echo of him getting up, going from room to room to check in on his children before going out to work for the day. That's the conclusion I eventually came to. And when I was a little kid, before we ever even knew about this house, I was terrified of the dark as a child. It still makes me nervous. Not as bad as it did, but it does make me nervous. But, I used to be really hard to go to sleep at night. I still am. That's never changed. My mom would sit with me in my room until I fell asleep when I was little. And oftentimes, I would still be awake when she left the room. I can remember being a small child and being in my bed trying to sleep and very distinctly feeling, after my mother had left the room, mind you, very distinctly feeling my bed press or weigh down as if someone had sat down on my bed with me. It used to terrify me. I used to get so scared of it. And I wouldn't tell anybody because there's really little. And, kids that age, make stuff up. And even if they aren't, people don't tend to believe them. Again, eventually, I came to the conclusion that it was completely harmless because after a while, after I stopped being afraid, I got the feeling It was my grandmother. One I'd never met, because she died before my mother was ever a mother the first time, let alone the third time. So, I think she was with me a lot when I was a little kid. And I've been not haunted by, but I've had, like, maybe not the ghosts, but the spirits of my animals around me all the time. I know they're there. So yeah, I'm gonna say no to this. It doesn't really bother me unless it was, like, dangerous or intrusive. Have you ever seen an object mysteriously move without me? Yes, I have, actually. In this very house. A long time ago. I forget how we had our room set up back then, but it used to be in our front area, front of the house here. We had the kitchen dining room table positioned to where I could see it from where I sat on the couch. And there was a cup on the table. And this is years and years ago. We were watching TV. And I just happened to look up into the kitchen for no reason. Okay. There was no sound. There was no indication of anything happening in there whatsoever. Everyone was watching TV in the living room. And this cup just moves across the table. And at first I was like, is the cat doing that? But there was no cat anywhere near it. It was just the thing doing its thing by itself. The cup was just scooting across the table. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Why not? So yes, I have seen that. Do you believe that it's possible for a game to summon supernatural forces into your life without you knowing it? You know what? I say that too much, don't I? I'm sorry. Possibly? Because I think that almost anything could summon supernatural forces into your life without you being aware of it. We don't know what triggers what. It's not something we actively study, although we probably should. So yes, I'll admit that that's possible. I don't think it happens, but I'll admit that's possible. Would you like to make more friends? Yes, I would love to make more friends. I'm a very, very lonely person. I would love to make friends who want to read, talk about books we've read or anime we've watched. I want to make friends who want to play D&D with me, you know, or play other games. Whatever. The list goes on and on and on and on. Yes, I'm a lonely person. I would love to make more friends, but I'm really, really bad at it somehow or another. I could, like, use some advice in that department, I guess. I gotta stop saying like. I don't enjoy sounding like that. I'm not some valley girl. It's a bad habit. I'm trying to break it. But yes, I would love to have more friends. It's just that people have a hard time getting to know me, or they don't like me. Would you consider yourself to be a good friend? I think so. I'm a loyal person. I keep secrets pretty well. I actively try to brighten people's days. I like to help people whenever I can. I don't belittle or talk down to people. Even, and I've tried to break this habit on Facebook a lot recently. Even if I'm trying to correct somebody for, I don't know, a mistaken knowledge or a mistaken grammar especially, or whatever it might be, I try to do it in a way that is not judgmental, but just informative. But yeah, there's many reasons why I think that I would be a good friend. Do you feel lonely? Yes, quite often, in fact, most of the time. I don't have enough social contact with others, and I really wish that I did. But there's only so much that you can do when you're stuck with no car or other vehicle, not able to really ride the bus or go anywhere on your own for various reasons, with no job and no money. You kinda have to be alone most of the time. What was that? Do you make friends easily? Not really. I don't know why. People like me superficially, I think, but if they actually take the time to try to get to know me, I don't think they're really interested a lot of the time. Do you tend to avoid drama where... Yes, I hate drama. I actively avoid Facebook 90% of the time because of drama. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be part of it. I hate drama. Have you ever had a near-death experience? I don't think so. I can't remember it if I did. So, no, I'm just gonna say no. If I have, I don't remember it. Do you like horror movies? Oh my god, yes. Horror movies are my favorite kind to watch. And I'm talking like the super schlocky 80s Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh my god, those are some of my favorite movies of all time. And I love Child's Play. I freaking love Chucky. It's just something about the whole concept of horror movies. It's just, I love it. I love it. This is all very interesting. Have you played the test? Yes, I told you that before. That's the spirit. Have you played the horoscope? Horoscope, sorry. No, I haven't. Sounds interesting, though. Give it a whack. I'm totally not biased or anything. I'll check it out. Do you watch porn? No. No, I think porn is disgusting. Well, I think porn with real people is disgusting. Allow me to clarify. I might have to censor this out, actually. Short answer is no, I don't, because I think it's gross. Long answer is... there are, yeah. Certain... well, it's not really watching so much as playing, I guess. There are some games on Steam that I've dabbled with, and there are some things you can do with The Sims that I won't get into details about, that I am very enthusiastic about. So watch, no, but engage in other forums, yes. But watching actual humans, no. Would you consider yourself to be a hard worker? I mean, I was, to the best of my ability, before I got my back all messed up and everything, yeah. Now, I can't. I wish I could. But yeah, I think so. Do you have a low opinion of yourself? I don't think so. Not anymore. During my teenage years, and this is quite common for people, if by some weird chance you're a teenager watching a almost 40-year-old YouTuber's video, then I'm just gonna say your teenage years are gonna be the suckiest ones of your life, probably. America does not condone or cater well to being a teenager. We pretty much make being a child and being an adult and really life in general as hard as we possibly can here for a lot of people. The teenage years are worse because all the hormonal crap is happening to you and nothing makes sense and everything feels bad and shame is at the highest point it's ever going to be your entire life. I'm just going to tell you right now, none of that matters. I know you think it does in the moment, but who's dating who, or what so-and-so said about you behind your back at lunch, or all of that drama that you think is so important right now, in 5 years you're not even going to remember what happened. I promise you. So try to keep that in mind if you're a teenager right now going through high school or middle school or whatever. In 5 years, you're not even going to remember why you were upset right now. Seriously, it's nothing. You'll learn that in hindsight later on. But try to keep that in mind going forward because I promise you, it doesn't matter. That being said, I kind of waffle on this back and forth. Sometimes I feel bad about myself because of things I can't do. Not because of who I am. And that's kind of silly because the things I can't do, I can't help not being able to do them. Like, I can't work retail jobs. I can't work fast food jobs. My limitations are what they are now, and I can't undo that. I can't fix that. So, I'm going to say no. Would you consider yourself to be a confident person? In some things, yes. Like, I am completely confident in my ability to tell somebody, you know, the correct way to phrase something, or how to use proper grammar or English or what have you. Even if I don't always practice it in these videos. I'm pretty good at wording, okay? That's one thing I have confidence in my ability to do very well. I'm confident in dealing with animals. I know cats really, really, really well. I know dogs pretty damn well. And I'm confident that I can give somebody some decent advice on how to deal with a problem they might be having with their pets. I'm not a vet or a behaviorist or anything like that. I've just learned a lot from life experience. I'm confident in dealing with my computer problems if they come up, or fixing other people's. And then there are other ways in which I'm not confident at all. Like, I don't feel comfortable, like I said, walking up and talking to people and starting a conversation. So this is one that is yes and no both. But I do feel like most of the time, I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm talking about. And if I'm wrong, I'm confident enough in my own abilities to admit to that. Would you help an old lady cross the street even if you were running late for an appointment? If I could, yeah, absolutely. Would you kill all of your neighbor's pets just to save one of your own? Oh, God. Why are you throwing that? Oh, my God. That's horrible. In the moment, without thinking, only being driven to protect what's mine, I might do that. But if I were given a moment of clarity to stop and think about it, probably wouldn't. I would be devastated either way. Oh my God, this is really difficult for me. I don't want to say either. Because neither choice is something that I would ever consider doing. That's horrible. But you know, as hard as it would be for me to do this, I don't think I could lift my hand against an animal. I really don't. Unless they were actively trying to harm me. But all of them for just, oh God, this is, wow. And I know my neighbors' pets. Well, not very well, but like, I've seen them around the neighborhood, you know? And even if I haven't had contact with them, I, by default, pretty much love, adore, and think are sweet babies every animal on the planet, okay? That's just me. What if it were Princess? I'm going to say no, with the caveat that that's just because I don't know how much damage has already been done to my pet. I don't know if they're even possible to save. I don't know. Like, I hate this question so much. Oh my God, this is horrible. This is this is a huge dilemma for me. Like, I've always thought of my pets as my babies because I don't have kids. And the idea of seeing one of them being harmed by anyone else, even if it was other pets, I can't. Ugh. I'm gonna say no because, number one, I couldn't handle the trauma of actively harming an animal. One would be bad enough. One I might be able to do, but all of them? And number two, I wouldn't want to devastate anyone else like that. So, sorry, all my babies, all my fur babies. You know I love you all with my whole heart, but I couldn't justify this. Have you ever tried to smother yourself with a pillow to see if you could actually suffocate? No! I see if you could actually suffocate yourself. No, absolutely not. I have... What the hell? Never attempted any form of suicide in my life. There have been many times that I wished I could die or wished I would die, but I never took that into my own hands. Have you ever been caught dancing when you thought no one was watching? No, because I don't dance. I don't. I can't. It's not something I do. Have you ever tried to roll your eyes back so far just to see if they really get stuck? No, I've never done that. Have you ever played a practical joke that you regret pulling on someone? No, because I don't play practical jokes. I think they're stupid and mean. Are you streaming live right now? No, but I am recording a video. Are you recording this gameplay session? Yes, I am. If I told you that I was watching you play this game right now, would you believe me? You're fate, so yeah, I would believe you. If you've left a comment for me at any point in time, I've read your words. Does this bother you? What? No? Why would it bother me? If you've left a comment for me, does it make you feel positive that I paid attention to what you've taken? Yeah, sure. I appreciate that. Do you understand that no matter what, I appreciate you? It's very kind of you. I really do. Are you afraid of snakes? No, actually, I adore snakes. Contextually speaking. Obviously, if there is a large snake who is posing a direct threat to someone that I love, or even someone that I don't love, then I'm not going to be fond of that specific snake in that particular moment. If I've been bitten by a venomous snake, again, I'm not going to appreciate that specific snake in that exact moment. But on the whole, snakes are really cool. They come in beautiful patterns and colors. They perform very useful services in keeping rodent populations and other pest animal populations down lower. They have that. They fill a niche that cats usually do in places where cats don't exist. So they're like legless, scaly cats in a way. That might be why I like them so much, because they do a lot of the same stuff cats do, only without fur and stuff. I think snakes are awesome, so no, I'm not afraid of them at all. Do you believe in magic? I talked about this last time. I'm not going to go over the same thing again here, but essentially, I believe in a kind of magic that is specific to human beings. Or specific to the planet that we live in. Or even possibly spiritual magic that is capable, that, let's say, those nasty demons or those wonderful angels are capable of. I believe in that kind of magic. Have you cried in the last month? Let's see, this is just a... Probably. I'm gonna say yes, because I do that a lot. Not usually for sad reasons, though. I'll cry when I'm watching Too Cute, because I can't stand how adorable and precious they are, and how much I love seeing their happy ending photographs. That'll make me cry! Sometimes My Cat from Hell will make me cry, and I watch that all the time, too. So I'm just gonna say yes. Do you have a hero? It's a weird question, in a way. This is not one that I really ever thought about growing up, either. Like, what even is a hero? I guess in a sense I do. It would be my mother. Because... strongest woman I've ever known. When she was really and truly herself, anyway. She is the reason that I'm as strong as I am, and my sister is as strong as she is. She really did forge us into who we are. And I owe pretty much all of myself to the work that she and my dad did in raising me to be the person I am. So yeah, I guess they're both my hero. Do you typically learn from your mistakes? I try to. I'm not perfect about it, but I do my best, I think. Yeah, I do my best. Do you enjoy outdoor activities? Some I do, yes. At least I used to. Love going for walks. Used to love relaxing in the yard or whatever, gardening, you know, just being outdoors in general. Playing at the park with kids. Not my kids, my niece's kids. Going to the zoo. I'm gonna say yeah. I don't get much chance to do them anymore, but yes, I do. But you consider yourself to be lazy. Not by choice. I am currently in the process of convalescing multiple problems that I've had. I do push myself to get exercise as much as possible, though. I'm gonna say yes, but not by choice. Do you sometimes find it difficult to stay motivated? All the time. I don't even remember how many right now. Novel ideas, half written or partially written, tucked away on my hard drive, unfinished, just sitting there, will probably never see the light of day. Because I just can't keep going sometimes. Do you put the needs of others before yourself? This is gonna sound selfish, but right now, no. No, because I can't. If I were to focus more on what everyone else needs done or needs me to do or wants me to do, I wouldn't be able to take proper care of myself right now. And right now, I have to be the most important person in my life. I have to take care of the things that are going on with me. I have to get better. I have to do better. I have to be better. Right now, I have to be selfish. In order for me to recover, for me to heal, for me to become healthier, for me to be a better all-around person, right now, I have to be selfish. Would your family and friends describe you as kind? I think so. I don't get to interact as much with people anymore as I used to, but I'm always trying to be as gentle with and understanding with people as I possibly can. I wasn't always. This was something I had to learn. And it wasn't always easy to learn. But I try. I think they would, yes. Have you ever cheated in a relationship? No, but I have been the other woman in a relationship. Talked about that before. Really? Shit. Have to learn to turn my phone off before I do these things. Sorry about that. No, I have been the other woman, but I've never cheated on my partner. Have you ever been cheated on in a relationship? Now, see, this is interesting. I'm not sure. I'm going to go ahead, because I'm a nice person and I like to think the best of everybody, and give him the benefit of the doubt and say no. But I don't really know if that's true. I think that's true, and I hope that's true. But I don't know that that's true. Would you consider yourself to be judgmental? No, not really. I mean, obviously if somebody's a rapist or a murderer or something, I'm going to be judgmental of them. But I'm not going to question people's life choices. I'm not going to argue with them about their sexuality or their gender identity or how they choose to live or whether they have kids or not or how they raise their kids or a myriad of other things. That's not my business to decide that you are a certain way and should not be that way. That's just not me. Because Lord knows I have my own set of bad habits that I'm not too proud of. And I would hope other people would not judge me based on those habits or those behaviors, because I'm not perfect. I've said before, perfection is an illusion that we keep chasing and can never attain. So I do my best not to be. I'm sure there are situations where I have been, but I strive not to be. I see. Are you a hero to someone else? I don't know. I don't believe I am. It would be nice to think that I am. But no one's ever told me that they looked up to me or they admired me or anything like that. It would be nice if I was, but I've never been told that. Do you love animals? Yes, absolutely. Every animal on the entire planet that exists ever is my baby in my heart. And yes, I'm including things like bugs. Bugs too. Because even bugs, as gross as they can be, have a place in the ecosystem and are important. The only exceptions... sorry. The only exceptions being parasites. Because they are serving no purpose except to propagate themselves. I don't love parasites. Fleas, ticks, mosquitoes. Mosquitoes do serve other functions, but they do more harm than good, globally speaking. Fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, I don't care for those guys at all. Any internal parasites can fuck right off. You know, that whole class of animals can just die in a fire. Sorry. Y'all have no purpose except to hurt other living things. But aside from parasites, yes. Absolutely. Have you ever found a family member on Tinder and wanted to hit them with a super like just to make shit real awkward? And I've never done that because I never used Tinder. Ever. And I have no plans to ever use Tinder. Yeah, me neither. Do you enjoy drinking alcohol? Socially, occasionally, yeah. I like the flavor. I know it sounds weird to say that, but it's true. I like the way that some liquor tastes. Like brandy, impeccably delicious. One of my favorite drinks. So yes, sometimes I do. Are you intoxicated right now? No. I don't generally exist intoxicated. Well, that makes one of us. Do you like the phrase sneaky snake? Sure, why not? It's fun. Are these questions a little strange to you? After playing the first game, not really. Do you have a vivid imagination? Yes, I do. Oh my god, yes, I do. There is so much going on in my brain sometimes that I can't even keep track of it. Creatively speaking. Do you feel uncomfortable in large social settings? Yes, I do. Unless I know everyone present intimately, then yes, I do. Do you consider yourself to be antisocial? Not especially. I mean, I'm not going to go up and strike up a conversation with a stranger, but I'm not going to refuse to talk to them either. So not really, no. Do you hold a grudge for long periods of time? Only in very specific situations. I've talked about this before. In my other video on the test. The first test video. I do. There is one. And I've found it very difficult to let that go and let forgiveness take hold. In general, no. But specifically, I can. Have you ever urinated? No, I have never urinated in public. Do you like pineapple on your pizza? Yes, I do, actually. Very much so. I knew I liked you. Would you consider yourself to be selfish? I was just talking about how right now I have to be selfish for my own health's sake, but in general, I'm not going to be the person who takes the last piece of candy or cake or you know, if someone else wants the same thing I do and there's only one left, they're going to be the one to have it, not me. I'm not constantly craving attention or presence or whatever material thing that you might want to think of when you think of selfish people. I would much rather give to others than have things given to me. Do you think you've got a big ego? Absolutely not. No, I do not. Would you consider yourself kinky? Again, this was asked in the previous game, and again, the answer is yes, because everybody is, whether they admit it or not, at least a little bit kinky. Have you? What? Even if I could, which I can't because of my biological sex precludes it, no. I have never masturbated into a fishbowl. Well, then you can't be that kinky. I don't have a fishbowl, and I can't perform that function. Did you consider yourself to be religious? No, I talked about this earlier in the same video. No, I'm not. I think religion is... Please don't get mad at me. I think that organized religion is, in general, an excuse for hurting people. That's it. I have seen people who were fantastic that were religious folks. I have also seen people who were horrible who were religious folks. It can go either way, as with most things, but I think the idea of being part of a religion just sort of puts you in that me versus you mindset from the get-go. And there's enough of that going on as it is in the world. Me versus you should not be a thing in our society now. Me versus you needs to disappear. It's only us, together, everyone, united. So, no, I'm not religious. Would you consider yourself to be temperamental? No? I mean, not especially. What does it even mean, though? I mean, not really. If you had to kill someone to save your own life, but you knew they didn't deserve it, would you do it? Hear me out here. If I have to kill someone to save my own life, it's because they are actively trying to harm or kill me. In which case, they do deserve it. I'm sorry. Now, if on the other hand, I've got somebody, like, holding a gun to my head, saying, kill that person or I'm going to kill you, then, you know, I can't answer because that's hard. Like, would I kill someone else to save my own life? in that situation, I don't think I would. I hope I wouldn't. If I did, I would regret it for the rest of my life. But if they're trying, the only way I can see myself being in this situation is if this person is actively trying to kill me. If they are trying to kill me, then they're open season, and I'm sorry, but goodbye to you. Interesting. Would you sacrifice your own life for a complete stranger? I mean, gotta stop saying that. Well, gotta stop saying that too. This is one of those that's situational, very situational. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm not trying to say that my life is any more valuable than any other person's, because I don't believe that it is. But I don't think that I would knowingly, willingly, throw myself into death for the sake of someone I don't even know. It's not personal. It's just... It would depend on how likely it was that they would actually... You know, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to say no. I'm not that selfless. That's kind of hard to admit to myself. It's nothing personal. But if it's I get to go on experiencing my life with my family and loved ones and everything the way it is, or it ends right now to save a person who might not even have anyone. I don't know. It's not like that, man. But no, I don't think that I would. Even more interesting. Have you ever been inside of a burning building? No, and I plan to keep it that way, thanks. Have you? Yes, I have. Of course. I can only remember one. My mother's. I don't remember any others if I have. If you could attend your own funeral before you died, would you take the opportunity to do so? That's weird. Why would I have a funeral before I died? I mean, sure, I guess. It could be interesting. If you could see into the future, but you were told that it would only reveal the absolute worst of what's in store for you, would you still look? I'm going to say no. Because if I did know all that stuff about what the horrible stuff that's coming, I might get bogged down into trying to stop it from happening. And then I wouldn't really be living anymore. If you have the power to stop time, would you use it to do something you know you shouldn't do? If there would be no consequences, and no one would ever find out what happened or how, I don't know. This is a hard one. Like, are we talking Grand Theft Auto or killing someone or... I don't know, stealing the neighbor's food. I can't think of any specific thing that I would do. Because the whole not getting caught thing is really important here, obviously. But, if there would be no consequences, if I could get away with it freely, and if it didn't actually hurt someone else or cost them their life or anything like that, then yes. Yes, I would. If you had the power to remove one person from Earth, never to return again, would you use it? I'm gonna say no. And I know that sounds maybe a little crazy to some people, but who would I choose? How would I decide? I mean, I don't have any personal vendettas against anyone that I hate that much. I don't have any enemies. I don't have anyone that is in the political sphere that I hate that much or anything like that. And I think that regardless of what they've done or what they might do, everyone exists on this planet to have influence over someone, for good or ill. So no, I wouldn't do that. Everyone has a part to play. If I told you that I understand you better than you understand yourself, would you believe me? Yeah, you probably do, actually. If someone threatened to kill you, would your first response be to react in violence? No, my first response would be to run away and call the police. If a stranger stole money from you to support their drug addiction, would you forgive them if they apologized to you? I would. Because I've had non-strangers do this to me. Or at least to my family members. And I know it wasn't really them doing it, so yes, I would. If a family member said something nasty about you behind your back, would you confront them about it directly? Probably not. I hate confrontation. And people say things they don't mean in the heat of the moment all the time, including myself. So no, I wouldn't. If you had to eat raw squirrel brains for 3 days to stay alive, would you do it? Ew, God. Do they have to be raw? I mean, if I had no choice. That sounds horribly disgusting. But if I was that desperate for food, then I suppose I would. If you woke up tomorrow and none of your family remembered who you were, would you choose to leave and start a new life? Where would I go? What would I do? Seriously. If a homeless man was clearly sick, freezing, and utterly miserable in the rain, would you be willing to give him your clothes and walk home naked? I might not make it as far as home, but I would definitely make it somewhere. If someone accidentally hit you in their car, but you suffered no injuries whatsoever, would you still be upset with them? At least a bit, yeah. It was the car. You're supposed to be watching where you're going, and pedestrians are especially important to watch out for. I wouldn't be happy about it. Have you looked for any hidden meanings? No, I haven't been paying attention. Maybe you should have been. Yeah. Are you wondering if there's a deeper meaning to all of this other than just simply answering question after question? Of course I've wondered that. Miracles happen every day. Do you agree? I do, actually. I've witnessed a couple in my time. Umbrellas are worth lugging around if you don't mind. What? Umbrellas aren't worth lugging around. Oh, you don't mind getting rained on, do you? Yes, absolutely. As long as it's not, like, pouring down, soak you to the bone in minutes kind of rain. Red is a prettier color than pink. Do you agree? Yes, I do. I prefer red to pink. Do you feel like a plastic bag glowing in the bag? I mean, a little bit, yeah, I do. Eating in front of people can be awkward. Do you agree? Not really. You either eat or is. Who cares? Rings used as ceremonial wedding gifts are still outdated. Do you agree? No. I think it's a nice tradition. Do you realize the first letter of the last 6 questions, when combined, spells out the word murder? No, and I don't really care. Do you know why that is? No. Does that make you slightly uncomfortable? Maybe a little. Are you going to start paying closer attention to what you have gotten yourself into? Yes? Do you realize it's too late to turn back now? Of course it is. It was too late from the beginning. Do you hear some... There's no one in my room. Okay. There might be a mouse in here, but there's no one here but me. Do you see this? Why are you doing this? There's no darkness in my... Well, I mean, of course there's some darkness, but no. Don't be ridiculous. Do you feel like you're being watched? No? Did you look around here? Yes, I did. Do you like long walks on the beach? Sure. Beaches are nice places. I'd love to visit more of them. You enjoy giving gifts? Yes, I love giving gifts. I don't have the money to do this very much, but I enjoy it a lot. Have you ever felt like giving up on life? I have. Talked about that before. Do you love your family more than you love yourself? I mean, of course I do. Do you have a best friend who's clearly better than the rest of your friends? I don't like saying better than. I prefer closer than. Do you think there's some kind of conspiracy behind the coronavirus? Whoa! We got political, didn't we? Wow. How am I gonna include this because this is such a sensitive subject right now? I'm going to say yes in a general sense. I don't believe that anything was specifically done to release or to engineer or release the virus. I believe that there were some pretty critical mistakes that were made in the lab that was studying the virus, and that those mistakes were subsequently covered up. I believe that that conspiracy probably happened. But as far as it being purposeful, no, I don't think so. The conspiracy is in the cover-up here, I think. Some stupid stuff happened, and they tried to cover it up. That's what I think happened. Do you believe that you're human? Well, what else would I be? If you could turn invisible but could never be visible ever again once you decided to use your power for the first time, would you ever use it? No. Of course not. What does being invisible get you anyway? If you knew someone was about to rob a convenience store, but you knew that they were doing it to feed their family, would you stop them? Yes, and I would give them money to buy food for their family. If you were stranded on a remote island with a stranger and you were both starving to death, but you found a secret stash of food that they didn't know about, would you share it with them? Well, yeah, of course I would. We'd have to ration it and figure something else out later, but yes, of course. If you could turn into an eagle for 1 year, but you wouldn't be able to turn back into a person until that 1 year had passed, would you do it? Only if my safety as an eagle were guaranteed. Like, am I gonna be an eagle who's living in a zoo or chilling out in a wildlife sanctuary? Or, you know, something like that, maybe. Would I spend a year as an eagle? Only if I had nothing else going on. Like, I wouldn't leave time with my family to run around as an eagle. If you had the opportunity to earn riches beyond your wildest dreams by fighting a grizzly bear to the death using nothing but a machete and... No! The bear doesn't deserve that, neither do I. I'm certainly going to be grievously injured during that fight. If you had to pick one basic food item to eat exclusively for an entire year, would you choose potatoes? I mean, there are plenty of ways to prepare potatoes. They're pretty tasty. And as long as you supplement your diet with vitamins and whatnot to make sure that you stay healthy, sure, why not? Potatoes are tasty. If pizza screamed in agony every time you bit into a piece, would you still continue to eat pizza? Oh my god, as much as I love pizza, no, I couldn't do that. I would have to find an alternative to pizza. If your best friend got bit in the genitals by a highly venomous snake and the only one to say their wife doesn't... You know what? I'm gonna say no because this does not work. However, if it did work, then yes, I would do this. But this doesn't actually work. Okay? If you have a friend get bitten by a snake, don't suck it out. It doesn't work. You're gonna want to tourniquet that shit. Was that question difficult to answer? more entertaining than difficult. But no, not at all. I would do it if it worked, but it doesn't work, so don't do that. Snake bites don't work by sucking out the venom, okay? That's a myth. Don't do that. Do you feel mortal? Yes! What am I, a vampire? Do you enjoy loud music? Not like I used to. Only at concerts now. Not like I used to. Do you feel awkward you dance? I don't dance! Okay. But yes, if I did, I absolutely would feel awkward. Do you suffer from an anxiety disorder? I've never been diagnosed. So I can't answer yes to this with certainty. I haven't been diagnosed, so I can't... I mean, I feel anxious a lot, but I've never been diagnosed with an actual disorder. Do you ever feel depressed? Sometimes. You're not alone. Do you feel relaxed? I'm pretty relaxed right now. Do you think you have a guardian angel watching over you? In a sense. I think everyone does, all the time, pretty much. Do you ever hear your name being called when no one could have called it? You've asked this before, and the answer is still no, I don't hear that. I'm going to take special note of that one. Do you always look both ways while crossing? Yes, absolutely. Do you wash your hands every day? Yes, absolutely. Do you feel uncomfortable using public restrooms? Not especially. Is winter your favorite season? I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite. Do you know anyone named Josh? I do, actually. One of my nephews is named Josh. Are you wondering why that last question was relevant? Yes, I am wondering. Are you allergic to animals? Yes, actually. Pretty much all of them. And yet I continue to have pet cats and dogs. Because I'm a masochist. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's because my allergies are manageable with medication. Have you ever thought about an animal in a sexual... What? Wow. Seriously. Have you ever been in love? Well, you asked me earlier if my heart was broken. The only way that can happen is if you were in love. So yes. Do you consider yourself to be artistic? No. I can color, but I can't draw. Do you consider yourself to be dominant in day-to-day life? Not really, no. Not at all, in fact. Do you feel that you've got too much time on your hands? Often, yes, I do. Can you be easily intimidated by others? Yeah, I think I can, actually. Are you easily excitable? Not really. Not especially. Do you enjoy solving complex problems? Yes, I do. That's what drew me to doing IT work, which I still have yet to get into, but I wish I could. I love problem solving. Do you have a difficult time relaxing? Yes, I do. Do you consider yourself to be high maintenance? No, I'm pretty easygoing. Do you trust easily? No. No, I do not. I do not. Did you consider yourself to be an honest person? Yes. Have you ever told a lie? Yes. Have you ever lied to your best friend? No. Have you ever lied to your family? Not that I can remember. Have you lied about any answers during this session? Isn't that the whole point, to be honest? Are you wondering why all these questions have to do with lying? Sort of. This is all very useful information. Are you a people pleaser? Sort of. I like people to be happy, but I'm not necessarily going to change myself, my habits, or my ways in order to make them happy. Do you enjoy being the center of attention? Not really. Do you feel like you've got a good sense of humor? Yeah, I do. I think I do. Do you frighten easily? No. In fact, I do the opposite. I frighten people easily. Going to a haunted house? Haunted houses are fun. Well, that was odd. I wonder what that was about. That was probably a pretty good place for us to stop the simple segment of our questionnaire and move on to the more... There's more? Holy free holies, this is a long one. Okay. Next set of questions will not be yes or no answers. The next portion of our session will be filled with various scenarios that you smack down in the middle of vital choice making. We'll see how well you handle your options as you delve deep into each scenario. Remember, the key to all of this is to answer honestly. Let's get started. You're home alone. It's dark and it's storming outside. All of a sudden, there's a knock on your bedroom door. Someone's in your house. What do you do? Home alone, dark storming. Chances are, if this happens, it's going to be a family member. Because we do in fact have family members who have keys. I'll ask who it is. Very interesting choice. You meet a homeless woman on the street. She asks you for money. You find it within yourself to give her all the spare change you have. Just as you do, a homeless man approaches asking if you have some spare change. What do you do? Tell him I don't have anything left. Really now? Both your mother and your father fall incredibly ill to a life-threatening disease, and there's only enough medicine and facilities to save one of your parents, and the time is of the essence. What do you do? Oh my god. couldn't choose. Oh man. Someone else would have to do this because I couldn't make the choice. Glad I have family members who could help me decide, or not decide at all. That doesn't surprise me. You find a case of money tucked away inside of a dumpster. Inside, there's 10 solid gold bars and a vial of mysterious liquid. Under the vial, there's a note that says, "Cure for cancer, what do you do?" I mean, the money's really tempting. Especially the situation my life is in right now. Hopefully I would get a reward for this. And even if I didn't, it's not mine to keep. What a wasted opportunity. I kinda feel the same. I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't judge. You're stuck alone inside your house and you're starving to death. You're completely out of food and no one is coming to save you for weeks. The only potential source for food— oh god. Oh god, why are you doing this? I could never hurt them. Why am I not surprised? Your neighbor's home is on fire. A blazing inferno amongst smoke emits from the windows. You hear screams for help coming from within, but you can't see past the flames. No one else is in sight. What do you do? Call the fire department. It's dangerous to go in there. They'll have more people to rescue. I like that. You're fast asleep in your bed when you're awoken by what sounds like a woman's muffled cries from somewhere in your room. You quickly realize it's coming from under your bed. What do you do? Leave the room. A man in a fancy suit approaches you while you're walking down the street. He pulls a watch from his pocket and hands it to you. He claims that when the watch stops ticking, it marks the moment your time runs out on this earth. What do you do? Thanks, but no thanks. Would you now? You're sitting at home alone playing a game on your PC when all of a sudden someone grips and squeezes your shoulders firmly from behind. What do you do? I would probably elbow the hell out of them. Just involuntarily. Ha! You're sitting in the bathtub. Oh, I wish I could do that. Trying to relax when a hand emerges from the water. What do you do? Give it a No! Fuck that! I'm out! Clever. You get out of bed and immediately fall down into a dark, deep dark hole. A man is standing above you looking down, telling you to put lotion on your skin while you watch his movie. Ask him if he'll come down and help apply the lotion. Smart choice. You're sitting at home alone, and all of a sudden your door slams shut. You see it before your very eyes, and you know that no one is home, and it couldn't have been a gust of wind. What do? I'm just gonna watch that door. I like that. Someone you've known for many years but have no attraction to tells you that they've had a massive crush on you for a long time. What do? I mean, why not? Ah, so you're one of those types. Your dog starts randomly barking into the darkest corner of your living room, as if this didn't happen every day. This doesn't appear to be anything there, but your dog insists on escalating to growls. What do? Watch the corner. Sit and stare to see if anything moves. Yeah, that's it. I'm taking note of that. You see a massive spider. A spider. In your room the size of your hand. What do? Well, I guess we're moving out now. Burn the entire house down. Capture it alive. No reason to harm it. Huh. Your closest family member tells you that they're a serial killer. What do? I am very sorry, but this is the only correct answer here. Turn him into the authorities. I see. If you found out that you only had one day left to live, what would you do? I wouldn't tell anyone. Act as if nothing was different. Alright then. If one of your pets started speaking to you and told you they've got a dire warning that they're going to die if you don't let them eat all the ice cream in the freezer, what would you do? Go lay down! I'm obviously way too high for this. As long as it's not chocolate, here, have all the ice cream. I don't care. Oh, lovely. Seriously, as long as it's not chocolate or otherwise dangerous, here, eat the ice cream. Have all of it. What's the harm? As long as it's not chocolate. If all of a sudden you could start hearing other people's thoughts and the person next to you was thinking about mugging you and stealing your money, what would you do? Tell them you don't think mugging you is a good idea. Freak them the fuck out. Maybe they'll leave you alone. That sounds reasonable. Your best friend comes to you and tells you that they just accidentally killed someone and they don't want to go to prison. What do? Convince them to turn themselves in. If it really is an accident, that's the best thing to do. That's the best thing to do, period. I mean, I love her like a sister, but if she kills a man or a woman or some other fool. If she kills a fool, we gotta work this out. You can't go on the run. Aww. You're driving in your car. Don't have a license, I don't have a car. And you accidentally run someone over. You're pretty sure that they're okay, but the fact that their head is clearly detached from their body suggests it's probably just wishful thinking. What do? turn myself in. There's no way out of this that involves anything good. Interesting how that played out. I think it's time we move on to the next portion of it. There's more? The following questions that shall be asked of you are the would you rather style. Oh, okay, these are fun. Potentially. Imagine you've got a gun to your head and you absolutely must choose an answer. No matter how uncomfortable that may be. Let's get started. Would you rather be loved by all or feared by all? Oh, that's easy. Loved. Fear is a hard emotion. Would you rather never get angry or never get jealous? Never get jealous because anger can be a useful emotion. Would you rather be held in high regard by your parents or your friends? Parents' opinion's more important to me. Would you ever live in space or under the sea? That's a tough one, actually. Either one is potentially deadly, so we're just accepting the fact that I could die at any time living either of these places. Probably under the sea. There's actually things living down there. Would you rather you donate your body to science or donate... Oh, easy. People who need my organs can have them. Would you rather go to jail for 5 years for something you didn't do or get away with something horrible? There are programs to help people who go to jail without actually having a reason to be there. Pick a horrible job that you hate, but retire comfortably in 10 years, or have a dream job and have to work. You know what? I'd rather have my dream job. Retiring in 10 years from a job you hate sounds like its own kind of hell. Would you rather every shift you'll ever be would you rather every shirt you'll ever wear to be somewhat itchy, or be able to use one ply to only be able to use one ply tool? Well, you know what? Just double it up, man. It's not that hard. Would you rather have skin that changes colors depending on your mood, or tattoos that appeared that you put? Oh, those are both fun. Oh, wow. This could potentially get very embarrassing. We're gonna go with color changing skin. Oh, God. I'll take the lesser of two evils. If your partner switched bodies with one of your parents, the only way to get them back was to... Oh! What the fuck is wrong with you? No, seriously. What the fuck is wrong with you? Just answer the question. Oh my God. Can we get a memory wipe to pretend this never happened? Oh my God. Neither of these is... Oh. That one had no bearing on your results. I was just curious. Sure. I think we answered enough of those types of questions, as I'm sure you'd agree. I'm going to end this test with a short series of final questions, giving simple answers. We'll get started now. Out of the following options, which number do you like the most? 3. Personal reasons. Out of the following options, which color makes you feel the most relaxed? Blue actually does. Blue is calling for me. And which creature are you the least comfortable around? Least comfortable? Scorpions. Which flavor is my favorite? Chocolate. Which do I value the most? My family. Which could you most live without? I already live without money. So, the following options, which is the most accurate? I do think I'm smart, but I think I have a bigger heart than anything else. Which are you most afraid of? We'll go with this one. One final question. Have you ever punched a nun? No! You really ought to try it sometime. It can really take the edge off. Alright, we're done here. I'm through with you. I'm just going to calculate results very carefully. I don't want to miss anything important. Trying my absolute hardest not to judge you right now. Trying to keep this as professional as possible. And here we go. Based on what you've told me, I've come to a conclusion. This is what I personally believe would be in your best interest to acknowledge, set in motion, and accomplish in order to climb the ladder to happiness in your life. First and foremost, I'd like to start with a blanket statement that everyone truly needs to hear. Something that is taken for granted for far more than anything else in life. Something that has such an incredible, unique, irreplaceable value compared to any other thing on this earth. And that, my friends, is the value of time. Oh, that's so very true. This time is the most valuable form of currency you will ever hold in life. You can spend time on anyone, doing anything, for any reason. Now, time can be spent, time can be wasted, and time can be taken away. But time can never be refunded. Time can never be earned back, and more time can never be gained. Imagine a bank account with all the money you'll ever get to spend in life. Now, imagine not knowing how much money is in your account. Imagine going to the store one day to purchase something you really need, and the cashier tells you, "I'm sorry, but you can't afford that." As a matter of fact, you can never afford anything ever again. We only have so much time, and we have no idea just how much or how little we truly have before our bank account runs dry. And the fact that we get to decide and choose what we spend our time on just shows you how truly special it is when someone spends their time on you. So now that you understand the incredible value of time, I'd like to make a suggestion for you personally on how I think you'd be best spending your time in order to achieve what you need most at this current state in your life. Let's see here. Alright, this is fairly interesting. You're among the rare few people who have an incredible amount of untapped potential, and you're not using this potential to your advantage. I think you need to take a good hard look at what you invest your time into, and ask yourself if it's really truly worth it. Considering how limited your time actually is in life, are you doing everything you can to accomplish your goals before your time inevitably runs out? Because I don't think you are, and I think you know that. The only reason I'm telling you this is because it's what you need to hear. You could be doing such amazing things, but you aren't spending time focusing on using those things to your advantage or improving them enough. You've got a natural knack, some real raw potential talent, but you're either not working hard enough to harness it, or you're spending your time improving the wrong aspects of your life that you feel deep down. My advice to you is to spend some time thinking about where you're going to end up in the next 10 years if you continue the path you're currently on now. If you envision anything other than pure contentment and happiness at the end of that 10-year road, then you need to start walking down a different road. Once you figure this part out, you're going to be a hell of a lot happier in life, and I think you can already feel the truth in that. I think you'll be very surprised just how much of a positive impact this can have on your life going forward. I hope this information helps you achieve your goals. Your secret word is potential. Yes. scope. One more thing. Greatly appreciate feedback and support. We read every single review and comment. We love the conspiracy theories behind the greater meaning of all this. And in the third and final installment of the TIS series, all will finally be revealed. But not a single person has been able to figure out what this entire experiment is all about yet. We look forward to reading your thoughts and feelings as it helps shape what we do at work in the future, to bring the most emotion out of you. I would actually say that that's probably pretty accurate. I often feel like I should be working harder on my writing projects. I will check those out, actually. But yeah, that's a interesting process again. Oh wow. I would say yes, but this video has already gone on for much longer than I anticipated. So if you're on that list, I'm sorry I didn't take the time. I literally don't have it right now to spare, ironically enough. So I'll have to say no, but thank you for supporting these projects because they're very interesting. And that's it for the test hypothesis raising. Yes, I clearly have some skills I need to develop and some talents I need to refine, but don't we all, really? Anyway, I hope you found this interesting to watch, and I hope that you, even more importantly, go check it out for yourself and see what answers it reveals for your life. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.